Hey everybody, welcome back to Creative Chat Cafe. I am Zavzan.
And I'm Sandra Firestein, and we're your hosts on today's episode of Creative Chat Cafe, a weekly business talk show hangout for entrepreneurs and business folks who are looking to soar into a business and life that pays it forward.
Woohoo! And that's Lerone, all the way from Israel, and she's we call her the dinner gal in our live shows because we cover 3 different time zones. We have Sandra Feinstein in actually the Breakfast Club. I'm doing the lunch. Julie, you're also the Breakfast Club, right?
I am.
And Lerone is having dinner. We have a great audience here today. Lerone, I just wanted to say it's so good to see you here again, and welcome Sandra back. Welcome Lerone, and we have a guest today, super awesome. I'm going to get Lerone to introduce our guest, but folks, it is time to hang out, to get some guidance, inspiration, results. And if you actually look at this hashtag, our hashtag for the show is, you can tweet us on Twitter at @CChatCafe. That's our handle, Twitter handle, and use the hashtag Creative Chat Cafe and also hashtag CCC Time to Hang Out. Lerone, take it away.
Yes. So what's on this show, my friend? So the topic is create a vision board that empowers you to soar. So this is part 1. We have a part 2 of our 4 episodes, which is dedicated to vision board and mind mapping theme. Now we have a very special guest, Super Julie Brown. She's the founder and CEO of superinsurance.com. Yeah.
Woohoo! Welcome back, Julie. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Great to have you back on the show. Now, so we're very excited to have you back here with us, and you will help us actually build a vision board today.
I'm going to. Yeah, my name is Super Julie Braun, and I am the founder and CEO of superinsurance.com. And what we do is we help businesses grow successfully by utilizing interns. We also work with interns, and we help them get amazing internships that they can leverage into full-time careers.
Fantastic. Now, tell me a bit more about yourself. Sorry. You go, Sandra.
Well, besides that, today I'm going to be sharing Vision Board. So, yeah, I mean, it's a really exciting day because the Vision Board is something that's so important to me.
Julie, I'm very excited I'm pretty excited also because, to be honest with everybody, yeah, I'm one of those gals who actually prefer a digital vision board just because I'm such a geek in that way, Thank you. But, I do have a bunch of pictures that I want to start working on, so I know you're going to kind of walk us through, some of the process and maybe help us set up our own vision board today, Super Julie. But let me quickly start with this question to you. I mean, why do you think is a vision board important for us in our business? Because I know, we always can use that as a way to inspire us. But what are your thoughts?
I think it's so important because a vision board really will hit, if you do it correctly, it will hit on all the different aspects of your life. And we'll be sharing something that is very unique that we do with our vision board that will help everybody get that kind of balance. A lot of entrepreneurs, what they do is they focus solely on their business. So they might be very working all the time on their business. They may be ignoring things like their family, their friends, their own personal growth. They may ignore their health. We know a lot of those people. I myself, don't go to the gym like I should. But having the vision board in front of me and seeing all the different aspects of my life, it really helps me keep on track with that.
There you go. Yeah. We all must remember that. So, Super Julie, in helping us create this vision board, and trying to keep our life and business in track. It's a lot. I think the process may be unfamiliar to some because maybe they're just starting out in business or they've never heard about it. But I like your idea how you're gonna walk us through the images, the process. But let me quickly ask you, Sandra. What about you? You're an entrepreneur yourself. What do you think is beneficial about using a vision board?
Well, so I'm really glad that we brought this up. I had a really amazing moment yesterday where I realized that this is the type of exercise that I think everyone needs to incorporate. Actually, thanks to Julie, I'm a huge fan of the power of attraction. I always knew about it before, but Julie helped kind of point me in the right direction with it. And I think, like Julie touched on, creating a vision board helps you map out areas of your life that maybe you didn't even realize you had a desire. But once you start putting in the work, you start seeing like, oh, well, I did an exercise with a friend. I had no idea she wanted a Tesla. But because we started to do this kind of exercise, she was like, yeah, I guess I don't know. I hadn't brought it up before. And so it's really important that when you're talking about your goals, if you don't put it out there, it's going to be really hard to reach them in the first place. So to set your intention, you have to put it out there. You have to show to yourself and to the people around you, look, this is actually something that's important to me, and it gives you the opportunity to receive more than you would have otherwise because you would have set that limitation without realizing it.
I love how you both have mentioned about exercise, so I think that would be on everybody's vision board today. Do you know what I mean? Because we all are still in the early quarter of the year. We might be able to still fit in our, I wouldn't say might be, right? We should say we must include that fitness regimen on our vision boards. What about you, Laverne? What are your thoughts about a vision board?
Yeah, well, I love what you say, Sandra, and I think, it's so beneficial because it actually serves as a tangible representation of our dreams and goals. That's, first and foremost. Now, if we also place it in a noticeable location, like I had my bed many years ago, I need to do a new one. So when you see it at all times, it really helps to align with all your goals and aspirations and dreams. And just as Julie said, it's not only business, because I know most of the day I'm into my business, but it's good to see, okay, that's my dream apartment that I want to have, or as you said, like the gym I want to, maybe run on the beach. Like I live 2 minutes from the beach and I barely go there. So maybe if I'll put it in front of me, it will kind of encourage me to commit to myself even more.
I love what you gals say about putting it in front of you, right? And I think many of us are visual people, and I think that's why vision board is very important. It does take a little bit of time and commitment to doing it, but what in our life doesn't, right? Need commitment and time. So I think being a visual person, I personally feel that yes, we all should. Each one of us should have a vision board so that we can put it up there in front and go like, oh, today I have to lose, maybe work on something of your feature or something from that vision board so that you're creating little baby steps towards the direction of your vision. Does that make sense, everybody?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes, so Super Julie, let me ask you this. When I first saw your vision board, I was like, she has to come on a show. She has to come on Creative Chat Cafe and share. And I'm glad that we actually have you here today. Woo-hoo! Thank you for coming on board. But I want to also touch on the model of the vision board, because I know when I ask you on Facebook, I'm like, what do you use to model your vision board? Is there some sort of a template or a specific process? And you kind of mentioned in your post about a Bagua vision board. Is that right?
Yes. So the Bagua.
Yeah. So I know you mentioned that, but can you tell us a little bit more, because before we get started and go through the process, just a little bit of what a Bagua vision board is and how it kind of intertwines with what we're going to do today?
Sure thing. Zeph, do you have the Bagua map?
Yes. So let me put
that would be awesome to put it up, and then I can talk about it while you show it.
Okay.
The Bagua is actually based upon feng shui, And it's really about assigning energy to a specific area. So whether it's a room you walk into, an office, or a vision board, it assigns a different energy to an area. And the Bagua that we're using today, the one that Zep is putting up right now, really includes 9 key aspects.
There you go. That's the one, right?
Yeah, I think it's almost. I think right now, yeah, there it is. Yeah. And it covers 9 key aspects of your life. It covers wealth and prosperity, fame and reputation, love and relationships, children and creativity. If you don't have children, maybe you have a pet or a pet project, so that can go in that creative area.
That would cover. That would actually cover Sandra Pfizer in there.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure.
Yes.
Then we have travel and helpful people, career, knowledge and wisdom, and that's more like self-knowledge and wisdom, family and physical health, and then finally in the middle, spiritual health and well-being. And because, like we said, very often if you're an entrepreneur, you are ignoring 1 or 2, or maybe you're ignoring 8 of these areas of your life. The less balanced you are in your life, that will affect your business.
Right.
So one of the challenges I think we all have is how do we utilize a vision board when we put it together and we kind of look at all these different aspects, and I'm going to share a little bit about how to do that in a minute. But for me, the one area that I always seem to forget about is physical health. I eat really well. I'm a vegetarian. I meditate every day, but I do not exercise like I should. And having that area
I have a
on my
sound for
vision
that.
board. What's that?
I have a sound for that.
Yeah, that was perfect, actually. And because that's an area that I'm challenged with, to have it on my vision board every day, I look at it and I say to myself, I'm going to exercise.
That's awesome. So is that the main way that you use your vision board, or how do you use your vision board mostly?
That's a great question. Every day when I first wake up, I spend the first 5 minutes really asking myself, what is my purpose? And the answer for me is I want to help millions of people. Now that's in alignment with my business, superinterns.com. And so it kind of sets forth the rest of the day for me. The next thing I do is I spend about 5 or 10 minutes just having feelings of gratitude. And when I'm being thankful for all the things I have, for the people who love me, for the things that sometimes we take for granted. I was on a bus and I saw someone who couldn't speak, they were blind, and they were getting on a bus, and it made me so grateful for my eyesight and my capability to communicate. So I get those feelings of gratitude, and in that moment when I'm having those feelings, I pull up my vision board, I hold it in front of me, and I look at it because I want to associate the feelings with the images, and I start playing the movie in my head. So one day I might be looking at the image of the helicopter flying through the air. Well, I want to have a helicopter for my business.
I'm putting up your vision board there, Julie. Sorry, but I'm putting up so that people can see what you're talking about. Yep.
Yeah, so the helicopter you see in the left-hand corner, that represents material things, but I want to have that for my business. And by the way, I want to get my pilot's license.
Yeah.
So there's adventure in there, and whenever I look at that, I kind of have the movie in my head that I'm up in the air, and I come down, and I pick up all of you for lunch.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're gonna take me to Paris, right? You're just gonna like drop it
That's
on
on your vision board.
She'll come to your door and she goes like, "Ding dong, I'm here. Let's go."
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
you up too.
So when I have those, when I'm having that moment and I'm looking, I really concentrate on one image, and every day I look at a different image and I concentrate on that. And then I have the board in front of me all day long that I can always refer back to it. And then I spend the next 35 or 40 minutes really doing my morning meditation. I listen to some audio, and that's how I start off every day. And I have to tell you, I've been doing this for a while.
Yeah.
Obviously. I have seen remarkable results, not only in my business, but in my life. I have seen remarkable results.
We should all be inspired by you.
Thank you. So I highly recommend this process. It really works for me.
Can you just, I know probably Lerone and everybody else probably have another question, but before we get to that, I just want to see if you can just share us a little bit and walk through your vision board here, because it's kind of interesting, because they're all pictures. I'm a visual person. I connect with pictures, so I would love it if you could share with us, you know, walk through a little bit what the pictures are all about. I do see helicopters, then I'll see a picture, and I'll see, we can do it, right?
Yeah.
Can you walk me through that?
Yeah, so if you took the Bagua, I'm kind of matching the Bagua to the positioning of the board. So in the upper left-hand corner, I have the material things. I've got a beach house. I've got $1 million. I've got the helicopter.
And you got the swimming pool.
Yep. In the upper center is reputation. And so there I am flying to the rescue. I want to be known not only as an entrepreneur, but I also want to be known as a philanthropist.
Right.
And then over a bit more to the right-hand corner are friends, loved ones, and relationships. So I've got some friends sitting at a table. I've got holding hands with the man that I need and want to find. So, hey, maybe just by putting this out there, the phone will ring.
Yeah.
I love that.
That's how it happens.
And then down a little bit further is, I think we said creativity and children. And so for me, I've got a very good friend where we're kind of playing around, and also painting, because I like to paint.
Right.
Below that is travel and helpful people. So I have 3 people who inspire me. And then, and also Sydney. I really want to go to Australia. So that's on there.
Oh, Lerone can connect to that one, right, Lerone?
I lived there for 2 years. It's my favorite place ever.
Oh, that's so cool. So we'll have to talk to Lerone after the show.
And I see, before you go on to the bottom left, I see 2 familiar faces on there, John Asraf and also Oprah Winfrey. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so John is my mentor. I've been working with him and have been involved in a lot of things that he has done for probably over a decade now. And of course, everyone who doesn't love Oprah, I model after her a bit because of her philanthropic promise to the world, making the world a better place, and so she's inspirational to me. But there's another guy on there, Salman Khan. He's kind of he's right above the dive into Sydney, and he created an online school. It's free, where he's educating people, and he's really a phenomenal guy. So these are people that I model myself after and that really inspire me, and they're my helpful people in my corner.
Awesome.
And then in the lower, center.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. The lower center, we have career, and because superinterns.com is all about we can do it, and there's lots of young people jumping up in the air, that kind of represents that. And in the left-hand lower corner is knowledge and wisdom. I learned how to play chess in the last year, and I've got about 30 games going right now online all around the world. I'm learning how to solve a Rubik's Cube in 5 minutes or less.
Wow.
Yeah, so these are things that, you know, when you're doing your own improvement, find a skill, find a hobby, find something that you want to learn this year. Just do one thing every year, learn something new, and, you know, you will be astonished at, you will astonish yourself, actually. You'll be very proud of yourself. And then I've got the one image.
Thank you so much. I love that you remind us of, you know, paying attention to that vision board, and you know, you will need it to inspire you really on a day-to-day basis, right?
Yes. Yeah, for sure. And I've got the one image of the women swimming because I really want to get a pool. So
I love this. Yes.
I probably sound.
I probably relate
local,
to that
so
the
I'm going to
most.
talk to Sandra and see if she can hook me up with a local pool until I get my own.
Awesome.
So,
any other questions, ladies, before we move on?
I have to say, first of all, thank you so much, Julie, for kind of for teaching us how you do it. You know, because I never thought, for example, to meditate or look or treat my vision board in such a way of actually focus on it. So thanks for sharing your method. Now I have a few friends that have also a digital one, you know, like an app, and I was wondering if there's a difference in your view between creating a physical vision board and a digital one in terms of results that you get from it.
I think whatever works for you is, because I think the digital ones are fantastic. There's one, I can't remember the name of it, Zeph. I think I sent it to you. I think it's called Dream It Alive.
Yeah, I'll show that later because I remember, you know, I did plan to talk about it. So because I'm a crazy girl, right?
Yeah. So we have a great resource then for that, for a digital one. For me. Because I'm very tactile, you know, I still make notes on pieces of paper and all of that. I like to see the vision board. I carry it around with me throughout the day. I put it up on a wall when I get up in the morning, you know, when I'm doing my morning thing. I hold it up in front of me in bed. So I'm not carrying my computer with me necessarily to bed every night.
I think, so quickly before you say something, because I remember it, so that is actually a great tip for our folks out there in creating a vision board. I see that you some sort have a foam board, right, Julie? So it's kind of light enough so you can carry it with you wherever you go. And if you want to actually hang it on your neck, you probably can.
Be like play, but with your vision board, and you just having it on a chain.
Yeah, exactly.
That lady walking around town. Whatever, man.
And here's something, I need to throw this in really quick.
Okay.
I left a lot of space on my board for anything that I want to do this year.
Okay.
And just yesterday, I got a Groupon email, and it was to get, you know, those lash extensions. And I was looking at this picture, and I was saying, oh my gosh, I want that. So I cut it out.
Here's an idea.
And I'm going to put it on my vision board.
I need to take a picture of you doing that. Give me a second. Hang on. 1, 2, 3. Let me take a picture of that.
I will say, and this may be an important point to make, I guess be careful what you wish for, right? Because with the lash extensions, you might get them and you're going to fall in love with them, but a lot of times they pull your eyelashes out with them, so you may be stuck with them for a while. So it is a good reminder, though, that as you set your vision board, to be specific, right? That you actually, you know, maybe say, I'd like to try this once and then go back to normal. Or, you know, whatever it may be, because a lot of times we're not specific enough with what our vision is. We're just kind of like, I don't know, money sounds nice. You got to ask for how much, right? Because $20 might not be enough. You said you put $1 million on there. You know, it's just, you got to be careful what you're asking for when you're setting your vision, because it will come true.
Hey, Sandra, can you help me something? Because I just realized my capture isn't working. Can you capture Julie's image again with her eyelashes?
All right, Julie, let's try this. 1, 2, 3. I think I got it.
I got it. Did it appear on your...
Oh, wait. One more time, Julie.
Have fun.
Stay. All right, I think
we're gonna...
hook.
we're gonna make this,
We're gonna do
this
one more
picture viral.
Well, I don't know. I think it took.
Yeah. Let me just capture it also, Julie, just in case our images don't appear. Okay, one. You know, we know, so folks, if you're all out there wondering, yeah, sometimes Google Hangout, okay, done. So sometimes Google Hangout does that, you know, it has a mind of its own, so sometimes stuff on Google Hangout works, sometimes it's just gonna give you a, you know, test you a little bit and stretch you out, and it just did.
You know, Sandra, I love what you say about being specific. I remember when I lived in Australia back then, I wrote beforehand, I saved money, and I took an actual check, and I wrote 100,000 shekels, which is maybe 3,000 grand US. Yeah. And I just had this check with me in my bag all the time, and then I created this money. Like I had this money within 1 year. Yeah. So it's so powerful to actually focus on exactly what you want.
Yes.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
And if you got a little bit less, or if you got a little bit more, you wouldn't complain, right?
Yeah, definitely not. Hello. So I think, Super Julie, I know, Sandra, you mentioned, you know, the power of sometimes getting your hands dirty, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, when I play around with the idea of a vision board, to me, I'm like you, Zeph. I'm really tech oriented. I really want to just. Maybe it's like a form of laziness. I don't know. But I want to just go, because to me, I'm sitting there being like, I have to go to the store to buy the foam board, and then I got to print out the stuffs and cut the stuffs and glue the stuffs, and it's just a lot of steps. But then I was thinking about it, and if I were to make my vision board on my computer, and I agree with Julie that whatever works for you works best. But when I started thinking about what would make the most sense for me, although it sounds slightly more attractive to just make it on the computer, I also know that if I made it on the computer, I probably would never open it again. It would just be saved and tucked away, and I'd forget about it. So there's something about really going through that effort, going to the store, buying the stuff, picking the glue, cutting the pictures. You're spending more time manipulating each picture, actually putting it on your skin instead of just through a two-dimensional world.
Right.
I think the biggest thing, I mean, sure, you can print out whatever you made on the computer. I think what's most important that if you're doing the vision board exercise, if you just create it once and put it to the side, it's not going to hold as much power as if you put it somewhere where it's inevitable every day. I don't know if it's necessary to carry it down the street with you if you want. I think, you know, somewhere where
I just visualize Sandra doing that.
It's like maybe you like make the outside your vision board. I don't know. But I think if you just make it on the computer, it'll get lost in the abyss of all the other files. And I have a junk folder on my computer of stuff to go through someday. I could probably just go and delete the whole thing now. But I have a feeling that if I made it on my computer, it would just go there. And it wouldn't hold its power. So.
And I think, you know, Sandra, in what you're saying, just to kind of top out what you just, where you just left off there, is we need to figure out what works for us.
Right.
You cannot take, you know, somebody's, because we are not created equal, right, folks? We know that. So we have to find a process or whatever that fits us, our lifestyle, because we all know ourselves better than anybody else. So pick a format.
And you want to be the one to walk down the street with it and really that vibration.
That's true. That's true. You can do that if you want.
You can. You can even just start sewing it into all of your clothing, and then you're a walking vision board. It's fine.
So for some of you folks maybe out there, this is going to be an interesting topic because Sandra just brought up a topic of sewing it on your body, on your clothes and stuff. We actually have a second guest that's coming on shortly. She actually is an inspirational expert, and we're going to talk to her in a few minutes here, where just you mentioning that, Sandra, reminds me of her because she works with words, so we could probably have her throw in some ideas on how we can put them on our body and not everywhere we go, you know. Maybe
tattoo them in.
Yeah, exactly. But I think at the end of the day, digital or physical, the two have their own advantages, right? And in this day and age where we're driven by technology and apps, sometimes people are looking for solutions that spell out convenience. And for some people, convenience means it could be on their tablets, on their smartphones. And I think smartphones is the most convenient for a majority of people, because some of us go to bed with it. Do you know what I mean? That's me. You know, you can just sit down and go like, oh, you know, and you know how kids these days, they're all YouTubers. You could just probably watch it on our smartphones. And I think people are all looking for convenient ways. And I wanted to quickly share this because Julie brought up dreamitalive.com. I'm going to put on my screen here, and you all can see what the website is all about. So Julie, can you talk a little bit about dreamitalive.com, because I know you mentioned it earlier?
Yeah, it's really a cool, free site where you can create your vision board online. Mm-hmm. You do have to register, so you have to join their community. And mm-hmm. they give different examples. So they're you're showing a woman, and that's
here it says join community. Yep.
Yeah, and she's got, you know, her life's purpose, and all of the people, it seems like, who join this community are kind of they're spiritually oriented. I think they're visionaries. They are innovators. So you're kind of getting into that community. And there's some examples of different dream boards you can create. It is very simple, very intuitive way to utilize it. And the dream board is one component of this site. I haven't spent a whole lot of time on it, but I think for people that are looking for like-minded vision board folks, it's a great place to go and check out for sure.
Yeah, and I think, you know, we do now live in a world that is driven by social media. Having a digital vision board, we can literally go into communities like this and grow our tribes and meet people from around the world, Australia, Israel, you know, and just name it. It's borderless. That's a great tool, I think, to have because you will join communities and maybe get ideas how to build your own vision board, and maybe, who knows, there's a lot of potential there. And that's one of the reasons why I think, you know, being such a media person, a digital board, vision board works better for me versus a physical board, because I can literally take my phone, because like I said, I do sleep with my phone. Hello. Honest confession. So yeah, there we go.
Well, I also think, you know, when we're talking about setting intentions, we know already that it's about putting out a certain vibration. You're putting it out into the world that you're looking for people to respond to your call. And it is kind of this kind of woo-woo concept, but the more people you have sharing that idea, the more likelihood it is of it coming into fruition, of it manifesting, right? So an online community, if you aren't lucky enough to have an in-person community where you can share these ideas, if online is the way that you find that community, it works just as well. You have that many people kind of holding your intentions in their minds as well. And they'll be looking for opportunities for you just by default, because that's how we are. We're just all kind of calling people in simultaneously. So I think online communities are really, really powerful for that.
Yeah, it is the next big trend.
For sure. So what about you, Lauren? Are you a digital vision board kind of gal, or are you getting your hands dirty and gluing stuff?
Well, I have to say, I've been wanting to do it for many years. I haven't. I do have 2 different vision board apps in my phone, but I haven't really, you know, started doing it. But I'm sure after this show, I'm so pumped to actually do that. I think I'll start with the digital one. It's easier, it's less time consuming. Right. But I so agree with what you said. Like, when you actually put your energy in things, and you don't do it so much these days, when you feel it, when you cut it, when you actually put your love and effort and thought in it, I think it's way more powerful than, it's still powerful to watch it on the phone, but it's way more powerful when you actually, you know, put your energy in it. Get dirty.
That's true. Very true.
you're cutting yourself so you're actually like a part of it, you know?
Get all the glue dirty, maybe like I said.
And then you start peeling it off. That's always the best part about playing with glue, right? Like that never dies as an adult. I still, if I'm playing with horse glue, you put it on your hands, it's part of your vision board.
You gotta get it on your hands and experience it, feel it, all that texture, right?
I mean, when was the last time you got to play with glue? Really? I mean, I have so few occasions to actually be able to get out my art supplies. I have a box of it from school, but you know, there's something really fun about, you know, digging that stuff out and making it a project. And hell, I mean, get a group of people together, open up a bottle of wine, and just create your vision boards.
Love it. So, did you want to say something, Laverne?
Yeah, I said that with a bottle of wine, it can be interesting.
Anything.
Once you get interesting, it can be really interesting. The truth will come up.
There you go. Oops. So I'm just loving all this conversation about vision boards and speaking of all this physical vision boards versus digital vision board, and I promise you that I'm going to introduce you to our next speaker. And one thing about our 60 Minutes live show, folks, we usually want to feature a social, enterprise or cause, community, organization, and I recently met this next guest on this show at a local networking event, and you know what? If you think I have energy, you should probably hold on to your seats right now, because 200 miles per hour with another 200 miles per hour, we might just make this explode. You know what I mean? But we spoke about physical and digital stuff, and I mentioned earlier about the guest. She's all about this inspirational words, and I'm going to bring her in, patch her in, so that she can actually introduce herself and hear her story. She has a great story, and she and her girls, her daughters, did some great work with what they're doing through their business. So I'm going to patch in our guest. Let me see if she's on.
Hi.
Hey.
Hello. How are you?
Welcome, Sandra.
Get it right, it's Sandra.
Welcome, Sandra. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you guys?
I am doing great. I'm glad you're able to join us, even though it's last minute. But I know we have you have a great story, and we want to hear about it.
Tell us about yourself. Tell us about your business. And
Since it's a Sandra and a Sandra, we'll change my name to Inspirational Expert. I'll claim that name.
I like it.
What are we going to say the name again?
I changed my name to Inspirational Expert.
Inspirational first name, expert last name. Okay.
Yes.
Expert last name, exactly.
Love it.
So you want to hear about me?
Yeah, what do you do? Tell us.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. Bring it on.
Hold on to your seats, folks.
I love to take problems and come up with solutions in a fun way. My journey started back in the 6th grade. I can remember my mom handed me a card, and she actually had the first vision for me by naming me Sandra. And my name, it's on my vision board right behind me. It means helper of humanity. So when I was given the name Sandra, that's when my vision began. I've had that helper, caring, comforting, inspiring upbringing and willingness to connect to other people and help them. So my vision started with my name, is what I like to tell people. So.
Can I borrow that? Although I didn't. What I've always heard was defender of mankind, but I think I like helper a lot more.
Yeah.
I never really knew how to bring in defender, but.
Yeah, I didn't have any weapons, so I just figured I was a helper. Yeah.
And you know, I have to say that I'm a great believer how someone's name really affects its life. Like I'm Jewish and Israeli, and every name has a meaning. And in the Jewish religion, we believe that, a man's name really affects his future. So good on you for doing this.
Yeah, I love.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just wondering if we could take a quick moment to see, like, does everyone know what their name means?
I actually have a book. I don't have it in front of me, but I was so into my name and kind of having this vision when I was younger of, thinking of how it just connects to everything. I searched several bookstores before I found a book, and I have names in it, and I usually travel with it, and I'll tell people, like, do you want to look up your name? And
yeah, it's really powerful.
It's a fun activity. Yeah.
You're a walking vision.
Yeah, and I actually put, to Julie, I put my name Sandra right on my vision board behind me, and I wrote Helper of Humanity right at the top, and then all my other things that I want to come to life and vision are underneath it in picture form. And
sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no problem. Go ahead.
I was just going to say jump in because I saw you pointing to your vision board. So, folks, this is just a sneak preview of what's coming next week, all right? Because Sandra's coming back, and she's going to join us and show us her vision board. And she's going to walk us through her vision board. And being an inspirational expert, she will be able to help us a little bit more with, ideas and what she does. You could probably take some tips from her. So we're looking forward to next week's show also with you, Sandra.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm looking forward to it also.
So quickly, I know we talked about this. I wanted to bring you on because of what you've done with your daughters through this organization that you have created. Can you talk a little bit about that and a little bit of your background and what you're doing now and a little bit of history there?
Sure. Like I said, I feel like I was born an entrepreneur because of my background to just love the challenge of solving problems. And just to back up a little bit, I like to highlight 3 areas of my life which really stand out in my mind and mean a lot. I was a Weight Watcher leader, so I led groups and taught people how to be healthy and eat right for 10 years, and I loved it. And who would ever think getting overweight and having a problem would lead to a leadership job, touching lives of other people who have the same problem. So I did that when my girls were young, and that was just a stepping stone to what would happen next. And the next thing was my dear friend Patty called me one day and told me that she lost her hair and she was undergoing chemo, and how she wasn't happy with herself and had no self-esteem. So my daughters were 6 and 10 at the time, and I was devastated, and I told them what cancer was, and we rolled up our sleeves and came up with this solution to create her this head covering that we later called a Cure Chief, C-U-R-E, Chief.
Nice.
And one thing led to another, and we made them, delivered them to cancer patients, and again, another stepping stone to my last position, again, taking the problem of just society in general with no people, people not looking at each other face to face and all the negative on TV and on the internet and through social media, talking about visions. I had a vision on a walk, and that's my meditating and quiet time every day. Thank God for my walk with my dog. If you need instant exercise, get a dog. It's a good solution.
Because I think when you start walking, right, and you have the time to yourself, and you start and you start hearing
things. Yeah, I hear things. I start envisioning things. Yeah. I have to be careful where I'm walking so I don't trip. But I had this vision one day, and it just came over me, Zeph, and I said, the fact that we were able to touch all these lives with cancer with this one small gesture of a head covering, there's other people out there, people with mental illness and Alzheimer's and other things, and what a great vision it would be to help more people besides those with cancer. So at the time, my daughter was going through like bullying in school and that kind of thing, and we just said, guess what? We're going to make up cards with positive messages on them. And we call it Say It Forward, and like Pay It Forward, but with words. And we're going to hand them out to people and see what happens. And another gesture, just like the Cure Chief, turned into people creating buzz and saying, you know what, I want those cards. And the cards, listening to you earlier, something just kind of went off in my head. The cards are sort of like a little mini vision board, if you want to say. In fact, my friend this morning on Facebook tagged me in a post. Her name is Tanya, and she said, a shout out to my friend Sandra Centorino from Say It Forward, because I picked up one of her cards today and set my intention. And I just picked up on that when you were all talking. And that quote on that card was kind of her vision for the day. And it made me feel really good, because I'm like, wow, people are using them as like a mini vision board or an intention. So
what was it, Sandra? What was the...
It was a John Quincy Adams quote, and it said she said to me in the post, she says, I picked up one of Sandra Centorino's cards today and set my attention before starting my day. If your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader. And John Quincy Adams said that. And then she said, she put out a challenge, which I thought was really cool. She says, great thought to begin the day. How will you inspire someone? So I woke up to this morning. Like, I sleep with my phone too, like Zeph said. I sleep with my phone more than my husband, but don't tell him that. Sorry, I had to say that. So I opened my Facebook feed today, and that was what I woke up to, and I said, wow, this is perfect. We're talking about intentions today and vision boards, and wow, I guess my Say It Forward cards are like mini intentions. So that kind of made my day. I thought that was
Can you tell us quickly how you get your words? Because I know there's a story behind how you get all this. You collect all this inspirational words of wisdom and turn it into product. Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh, thank you for asking. Again, I like to have fun, and I put that ingredient in everything I do. And I don't want to be ordinary like Hallmark or any of these greeting card companies where everything's kind of generated and just ordinary. So, and I'm the rah-rah type person that likes to bring people together, and I have a lot of energy. So I like to take that energy and call it a gift. My family might not agree, but I do. And I kind of crowdsource people that I meet. So if it's someone on the street or someone at a coffee shop or someone at a senior center, I will go to them and hand the cards out and make face-to-face connections and connect with them. And then I'll ask them back in return, Mary or whoever I'm meeting with, can you give me a heartfelt quote? Is there something your grandmother told you or something you heard along the way that really kind of touched you? And I collect all of it. And I put it into categories or themes. So the first theme is inspire. The second theme we're working on now is called be well and be happy, healthy quotes. So I collect all these quotes, and we use those quotes and put them on the back of cards. So people kind of feel part of our mission and part of our company because their quotes are on the back of the cards. Mm-hmm. So that's how I get all my messages. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Go ahead,
I was just curious, how long did it take you to do that vision board behind you?
I, like Sandra, got dirty and my fingernails got blue, and I am a digital fanatic or geek, as Zeph said, but the part of me with my vision board, I like to have fun, and I think just doing it on an app would be kind of dull and boring and ordinary. So I don't drink wine, but everyone else got drunk while I just watched. And I cut out magazines and looked through a lot of magazines and got very strategic and creative with how I placed it on there. And then I took my creativeness and took it one step further and just took my marker and wrote words on there. And hashtag. I'm a big hashtag person, so I put things like energy, family, God.
Can you show us your board?
Sure.
We need a sneak peek of that.
Sneak peek.
Cool.
Can you see it?
Yes.
Yeah. And so everyone has Oprah on theirs, right? So if I don't meet Oprah, I'm going to be Oprah because I want to have a talk show someday. But I love Ellen DeGeneres is a big fan. I'm a huge fan of hers. In fact,
I'm sure she's a huge fan of yours too. I know that.
She says every day, be kind to one another, and she's fun, and she dances, and she's crazy, and I just love everything about her. So, and she likes dogs, so we have a lot in common. So she's right in the middle. So I plan on seeing her at some point in my 50s. I'm 53, so I got like 7 years to meet Ellen. I have a time frame.
Plenty of time.
Yeah, plenty of time. And I know that you collect all these words, you turn them into products, and what you do, because this is really the mission that you and your girls set out to do. What do you do with the product? You know, you collect the words, you turn them into inspiring products, then you actually have a way of using these products to give back. This is the paid forward part.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. So we have we created, because of us handing them out at random to coffee shops and creating this buzz, people wanted the cards themselves. So we said, okay, we'll create a product line in an online store. So our online store is at sayitforward.co, and we have all kinds of cards packaged different ways, and teachers love them and all that kind of thing. But since I came from this giving helper background, I had a vision to bring my dog to a class a few summers ago, and we passed a therapy dog course. Both of us passed. It was a 12-week course. And someone laughing? You think it's funny? No, it was funny. It was funny. You could bring your cats. There's dogs and cats, Sandra, so go for it. It's very rewarding. So I saw something in my dog when he was young, and I said, I have this vision that he could be comforting people just like I did with my daughters. So I took this class, I passed it, and I incorporated this class into my mission and said, you know what, I'm a giver and I want to visit people and connect with people. So I bring my dog to group homes, nursing homes,
I love it.
everywhere I can think of
So
that wants to
awesome.
be cheered up. I'm working on prisons. My husband thinks I'm nuts. I said I'll go to a female prison. I will not go to a male. But people need hope and inspiration and a smile, and this. And so my dog goes with me. He knows he's on a mission when he shows up. He goes right into his comforting mode and sits on people's laps while I chat, give them cards, and just collect, you know, what they have to say. I love it because it's really all about the story with people. I love hearing their story. I learn from them, especially the seniors, you know, telling me where they came from, what their occupations were, and it's just very rewarding. I can't even explain it. So my dog thinks I'm crazy too, but that's another problem.
You are amazing. You give people so much hope and love and care that they don't necessarily, I don't know, you know, how much they get, but getting from someone you don't necessarily know or know well, and your dog.
Yeah.
I think it's such a great thing, and keep on doing that. It's really.
Oh, thank you. I'm trying to teach him to talk. I figured that maybe might get us a spot on Ellen.
I think the day the dog talks to you,
Yeah,
you
I'll
will
be famous.
probably the most silent person on earth.
I know. That's going to stink, huh? He talks to me. I posted yesterday, Zeph, on Facebook. He talks to me with his eyes. Sandra might get it because she is a dog. He looks at me. Some days he's like, you are crazy, or you're fun. But I swear his eyes talk, and I talk back, and no one's around, so I don't really care.
Oh my God!
There's hidden cameras in my home, and they're watching me talk to my dog.
That's why, you know, I thought your story was a great one, because it supports the idea of, you know, us all as entrepreneurs can do a little bit more, you know.
Yeah.
With whatever we do, our product or services, we can create something social and give back to the community and pay it forward. And I love, you know, the fact that you're doing it and you're actually making this a family business, and your girls, you get to leave a legacy behind for your girls.
I'm proud of it.
And so for that, kudos to you, lady.
Thank you.
Wow, it's almost time. We only have a few more minutes, so I just want to quickly wrap up. I just want to say it's been a great, great episode. So Sandra's coming back next week, right, Sandra?
Sandra. Yeah.
Sandra, yeah. So Sandra's coming back next week, and she's going to talk a little bit more about the vision board, because this entire month of March we're doing the content on vision boards and mind mapping. The entire month carries that theme, and I'm looking forward next week with Sandra and Lerone again. So you know, before we go, I just wanted to have everybody to share the contact information so that if any one of you folks out there want to connect with our my co-host and our guests for this show, you can have their contact information. So maybe Super Julie, you can start off first.
Sure thing. So you can contact me at superinterns.com. And Sandra, you know, it was great meeting you. Lerone, Sandra, you and I know each other for a long time. Zeph, thank you so much. Sandra, one thing I want to say to you is I have some contacts in the prison system.
Oh, good.
So, you know, that's an area I'm very interested in working in, and we're actually launching a pilot.
Maybe you can visit, you can come with me and maybe collect quotes and visit some people. Definitely, that would be awesome.
Yeah, so I think there's something there. But anyway, superinterns.com, we can help your business by providing interns, and that's what we do.
Very cool.
Thank you. I'm going to let Sandra go next, I think.
Sandra or Sandra?
Sandra. I have your website up, so.
Okay. So I'm a huge fan of Instagram. In fact, I teach it to women in business to spread their message. So on Instagram is my first platform, and I'm inspirational expert on Instagram. If you don't have an Instagram, you should have one because it's another vision board type tool, and I love it. And you can use a video on it or whatever. I'm also Say It Forward, all one word, on Instagram. And then we have a website, sayitforward.co, not .com, .co, and you can read a blog. You can read our blog, see what's going on with our visits. On our front page, if you scroll down, I use this tool called Tagboard, which is really cool, and it aggregates everything with the hashtag Say It Forward on it, so you can just literally scroll on my first page of my website and kind of see my brand come to life. Another vision board. See, everything's tying right back to that. So.
Let me see who I have next. I have the right word. So, Lerone, go ahead.
Yeah, thanks. First of all, thank you, ladies. Thank you, Julie. Thank you, Sandra. And of course, Sandra and Zeph. It was so interesting and inspiring, this episode. So I'm really happy to be with you today. And as for me, I'm a business networking coach. So I help entrepreneurs, small business owners to achieve their goals through relationships, to build their trusted community around them that could help them solve any problem, get more clients, achieve any goal. My website is www.leronblickman.com. Email is info@leronblickman.com. Thank you so much, and keep dreaming big with a vision board.
Sandra, you're next.
Yeah, so Sandra Firestein here. I'm the founder of Pursuit of Seattle. It's a personal concierge service. I really focus my efforts on working with solopreneurs and small businesses to help people get a work-life balance. A lot of times we're pulled in too many directions, and what's pulling us around, it's important, it's got to get done, but not necessarily by you. So learn to outsource, pass stuff along. I can work virtually, I can work in person. If you want to get in touch with my business, you can go to pursuitofseattle.com. If you have any questions for me personally, feel free to find me on Instagram or Twitter at Seattle Sandra. I have that right here. I'm all over the place, man. Just come find me. Come say hi. I love talking to people.
And that's her website there, so I just wanted to share that. Next, I'm going to share some information about where you can view our show. You would normally go to our website, entrepreneurs.soar.com, and there is a tab there, web show and Creative Chat Cafe. You're going to click on that and you'll see the videos there in our blog. As for when our shows are, Creative Chat Cafe is on Wednesdays, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and every first Wednesday is a live broadcast. See, what else do we have next here?
Find us on Facebook. Join our Google Plus community. Follow us on Twitter. We love interacting with people. We love getting people in on the conversation. There's always more perspectives to hear from. And hashtags so that we can find each other. That's how we have to connect all over the planet. You know, we've got the West Coast to the Middle East covered in this show. Let's fill the rest of the globe with some people.
Let me go back to the hashtag if everybody's wondering where it is. Right there. I'm putting it up. It's hashtag Creative Chat Cafe and hashtag CCC Time to Hang Out. just to say, just to kind of follow up with what Sandra said, Facebook community, Facebook page, Google Plus community. This is our Twitter page, and this is our YouTube channel. And we have a playlist because it's, the show is produced by Entrepreneurs That Soar, and we have a playlist that says Creative Chat Cafe. You can watch our videos there. And here we go. Before we leave, I just want to say thank you again, folks, for joining us today. It's been a great episode, a lot of information. Thank you, Super Julie Ron. Thank you, Sandra. I have to say Sandra. Sandra. I'm going to have a tongue twister by the end of this show, right? Between Sandra and Sandra. Thank you, Sandra, Centorino, Sandra Feinstein, and also Leron Glidman. Thank you, ladies. It's been a good. So before we go, quickly, we're going to actually raise our mugs. I don't have a wine thing, but I did keep calm, didn't I? So see you next week.
Hey, my mug is a vision board. My mug is a vision board.
What does it say? On Creative Chat Cafe, I am inspired. Woohoo! We love that! Yay! So, ladies, thank you so much. We'll see you next week, and looking forward to the next show. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.